of the week. I will likely flip some accounts and take at least one position tomorrow if it sets up and I'm around. Otherwise, my objective is to work on the business and not in the business tomorrow for a few hours there in the morning. And we've been doing the dang thing. So we took some losses on Tuesday, fair and square. It was a chop fest. There's nothing I could do about that. I mean, I want to be the oracle and all, but there's nothing I can do. So with that in mind, we'll talk about all the things that we're seeing. But Miss Barbara, will you pretty please check our hearts and then we'll get started?
Yes, I will. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we come before you, Father, thanking you, Lord, for all that you do and continue to do in our lives. We thank you, Lord, that you are such a merciful God. We thank you, Lord, that you are a faithful God. We thank you, Father, for your Holy Spirit that continues to guide us, Lord. We thank you, Father, as we study to show ourselves approved, Father, you said that you would give us that wisdom, Father, without reproach. We thank you, Father, for your guidance. We thank you for your protection. We thank you, Lord, for your love. We thank you, Lord, for all that you do. We give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Oh, good morning, everyone. So let's take a look. I'm actually kind of excited about to see how today plays out. Obviously, we win, we lose. We have no control over that. I'm going to go up to the 1 hour and I'm going to go take everything off of our screen for a second. Well, let's take all, hide all. There we go. So everything's off. What, and I can't wait to hear from Magic too. Remember, none of us are going to be 100%, me included, as much as I want to be. But before we got these last two candles, this is on the hourly, what I was seeing is this is Monday's price action. Okay. So we made this huge move up. It was like, what is it, 900-ish points, give or take? A lot. 900 poop, sorry, point move up. And we have not retraced that, obviously. We also have a nice size gap. We have gaps to the upside and the downside, but we're just talking about this for a second. Here comes Monday. We obviously pushed up for New York and then kind of consolidated all overnight. Tuesday was a chop fest. I mean, right now it looks so clean right here. It wasn't. We didn't even take the lows for Monday. So we did have a nice move down, but we didn't even have any extension. That's Tuesday. Again, overnight, we kind of pushed up. We're really, really getting into a smaller and smaller area. And we know that because we're not making new lows. We did make a new high over Wednesday overnight. Well, that's Tuesday's overnight, technically. We made a new high, so we took some liquidity, but very internal liquidity. We didn't take any of the major liquidity, any of the bigger stuff, right? So kind of just barely tapped into almost equal highs. Okay, so we're still getting into a smaller and smaller range. It doesn't look like that at first glance, but if we look at the levels, that's what we're seeing. Come Wednesday, again, we had a strong push down, looked aggressive, looked amazing, but we still have not taken the lows as of Wednesday. So now here we are, Wednesday overnight, aka we're now into Thursday. We pushed down pretty good. Nice 50%-ish retracement, came back down right before market, or right as market's closing, pretty much popped back up and consolidated all night to really start to tank after London opened. At 8 o'clock this morning, here's where we were sitting, just trying to hide those last two candles, looking like, hey, we're still making higher lows, like we try to want to push back up, but we still, again, haven't taken even these levels by the time I was looking there. I was targeting 480s on the trade I took and posted in the chat. I didn't hold the 480s. I popped up off my desk. But overall, and I do want to hear from Magic. I want to hear about the other things. In all fairness, we just took the lows of the week. So the lows of the entire week. You could argue it's here, but that's for extended trading hours. Regular trading hours, we just took the weekly lows. So regular trading hours, we swept in reasonable liquidity, right? That's where we're at right now. We've taken that. That's an argument to potentially be bullish. We've got 5 minutes to opening bell, but for me, everything is down. I think we have a lot more sell side pressure. Obviously, I'm going to wait till we get back up to like the 540s, 550s area, potentially even tap into that overnight close, that yesterday's close, and then look to sell down. My argument would be if we get back above the 670s, I would be bigger time frame bullish. But until we do, we don't have any reason. And that's the same, something comparable to what I said yesterday. I said, look, I'm selling and I would keep looking for sells until we get back above 730s. And what happened? We got back above 730s. We tapped that kind of an overnight and then we pushed up. So same kind of concept. I was really happy with the sells, really happy with the buys. Cool. I'm not doesn't mean I'm bullish here. It just means I'm taking it as a retracement play. We got past the 730s, but then again, we didn't hold it. So now we're back below that level here. That's the 715s. We tapped back into that. Perfect kind of retracement play. Sold down. Easy if you were up for that. I clearly was not. I took this sell. Um, Scott, you marked at this level. What you seeing?
Just we've got that wick zone that was formed on, what was that, Monday?
Yep.
And it's been respecting that, and we have a wick below. It could be an argument for a bounce,
Yeah.
but at the same time, structurally, we have a break of the recent lows right there. It broke but didn't hold, but that could cement this as the high.
That's what I'm hoping to see happen is you're right. I think that's a big thing I did not mention. So thank you. We broke but didn't hold. So how valuable is that break? We does that now count as the, you know, direction of the downside? Well, we didn't hold. So I would agree that this kind of cements this as a high. um, okay, Magic, where are you at? Before we put on our indicators, let's see if he's on today. We got the 10-year and he was like, look, I'm bullish. I think he said he was bullish on the day.
Yeah, the price action is kind of up and down. I mean, I'm in an early buy,
Okay.
but it's possible that it can come down to maybe like 25 350, and then I'm gonna buy again.
25, 350.
Yeah, so I want to see what price action does at 9:30. If it comes down and takes out the current low on the
So
five. Guys, sorry.
no, go ahead. So you're bullish and you're gonna hold that bias. So I respect that and I want to see it. And I'm learning too. And I think that's the funnest part is just learning different, perspectives. And I just love it. It makes it so much more fun too. So some days we're aligned today. No, because even at the 350s, we've got a fair value gap, aka imbalance right here. I think we come to the 350s, we may as well fill this gap. Now, granted, we've been kind of teasing levels though, so we kind of avoid them, even to the upside. We've done this all week. We look like we're trying to break a level the last few weeks. We look like we're trying to come up, and what do? We failed to come up. We retraced again. We failed to come up. We broke down. We did take here, but then we feel like we've been failing to kind of complete certain levels. So we'll see. Big picture, guys. If we're bullish, okay, so we can take the bounce. Okay, Scott drew up that great zone. We have taken the weekly lows, which is very, very indicative of potentially being bearish, but we haven't closed there. So that's, fair play for a bullish bounce. But here's the deal. If I'm bearish, I'm looking at these areas. I'm looking down to the 200 to 220s-ish, 314s-ish. I'm looking to come fill this imbalance. If we're bullish, I would be a little bit shorter term on the bullish until we're way back above even these levels, which we failed to break from last week, the entirety of last week. This is Monday. So we really have not been able to get back above that. So I'm going to be on the 2-minute time frame. Let's go turn our stuff back on. We'll be on the 2-minute time frame looking at a 5-minute range. If you guys happen to see your imbalances and what have you, definitely call them out. Let's talk. Let's hang out. We do have a new pre-market low now. This is yesterday's low, which we're trying to respect. And I do also want to mark up. That's already been retested. So let's get some. That 540s. See if we can't pop up to there. It's also just not the most optimal spot to be selling. Like, I really would rather preferably buy up as a scalp to the 540s before I try to sell. So, but it's not a great spot because the truth is this whole area would be a valid stop loss and I'm not having a 200-point stop loss. I do believe my Ninja Trader's hooked up properly. I'm desperately working on it. making sure it's working perfectly. Yesterday happened to work in my favor. Well, not yesterday, but this week once. It was a few days ago. But other days I take this phenomenal trade and it doesn't mirror properly, and that's irritating. So I don't want that. Irritating, but here we go. We're looking like we're trying to continue. We could get the straight move. That's 430 straight down. That's gonna suck because I'm not gonna be in that. I'm set to 3 micros. Let's change that to 2. I'm going to keep it at 2 micros just until I get a better level. So I want to be able to click and just take advantage of the position that is happening. If I get the better levels, okay, a reason to buy, that's 470s to 540s, 70-ish points up, then I can, increase the micros. What else? What else? If I get all the way back up here, then I would be putting that back to 3 or 4 because then my risk is phenomenal. But at this area, I'm not super in love. Formed a doji, didn't really do anything. ATR is much higher today than it was yesterday.
I'm just waiting for the big move, whether it happens today or tomorrow. More than likely, there is going to be a big move in one direction. That because this ultimately ended up being consolidation that we've been looking over the last like several days.
All
A
week.
lot of indecision where it wants to go, leaning towards the downside, but really hasn't made the move. So let's see.
That
Government is open now.
that's I know no one's even I haven't heard any big news about it. Like everyone stopped cursing about it, but I haven't heard any like this is what's happened from it. Like here's nothing. So I don't know, but I'm not that connected on that.
Well, opening up isn't a lot of drama, so let's focus more on the drama stuff. So let's bring the Epstein files back and whatever else that we can bring back that people want to hear. Give the people what they want to hear.
That's all we can do. Guys, I'm gonna be I do have set to 2 micros right now. I don't want to take this as a sell per se because I just think that I'm going to get trapped into not a great place. Maybe go to the whole number 400s if we do tap down, but I would much rather see the buy up to confirm our sell side or of course to continue because that's already a 640s. That's a 200 point move, just overnight action, which also means we have more gaps to the upside in this big consolidation. Here, I'm going to go here real quick, even if it means I missed something. But this is what we're looking like. Oh, we're still rolling over. So we've been consolidating all week, but remember last week was more of the same too. We have failed to get above anything from Monday of last week. We popped down, came back up. If I go to regular trading hours as we're pushing down right now, there's just so many. So we push back up, or are we going to clear this before we come back up? We could clear this and then fill this gap and this one. It's gonna, yeah, I'm with you, Jonathan. It's gonna be a bigger move. I think it's just right now we're still consolidating and it's a big range, great range to be consolidating, but I'm sadly not in this cell. Here's where we're at. Sadly not in it. We're breaking through pre-market low. We're breaking through that opening bell 2-minute, 5-minute range isn't set. Let's see. Marker board. I just got my first 5-minute models for the sell. Again. And we've got our 5-minute range. That's phenomenal. That's the 400s, and I didn't take any of those 40 points. So go me.
It's one thing with Nasdaq is that sometimes the direction happens overnight in the London session, and sometimes it doesn't give you that reversal, or it takes the next day for the reversal to come in. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll come back or we'll get some sort of retracement. But sometimes it may be a situation like this that it's already established that it may want to go towards the downside for the day. And you may have to take your micro scalps in and out in that same direction. But we'll see. I mean, it's just the first 30 minutes hasn't even ended of the opening candle.
Yeah, I'm being patient, guys. Again, I'm trying to baby these funded accounts. It just most of them are all funded again, and they like from what is it, the Monday ago, so we're on week 2. I got to rebuild the buffer on a lot of those, and they just don't have the same level of buffer. So I need to be more, A+ oriented. It's going to take some time, but I will say, guys, look, this was a beautiful retest. So if we didn't know it was opening bell, that would have been enough of a reason just to sell that down. That was a beautiful, whatever. 1 minute, we are getting that fair value gap right outside of the 5-minute range. But that's going to mean this candle closes. That's a big ask though. So maybe a 1 micro trade. So taking something like this, that's that candle.
It's also close to that range that Magic was talking about that he was looking for his buys.
Yeah, that's 2 to 1. So that's a whole strategy by itself. To me, that's so late though. Guys, then it doesn't mean it might not play out. It might play out. I'm gonna sit on my hands. Sadly, but I am. Stupid heads. Stupid candles. Okay. I'm done whining
Yeah, you sound like me the other day, right? Yeah, the get mind games that the market plays with you. I mean, what's frustrating with this, and like you said, that's a great point. Sitting on your hands when you miss this, if you weren't already in it, because that FOMO can definitely get you in a place like here, and then it'll put you. You'll finally sell. It might go in your direction, or you might have sold at the bottom point while it's ready to make its retracement, and then you're stuck in all that drawdown, and you don't know what to do, right?
that.
Um, so yeah, that's it's just trading. It's good experiencing that, and you talking that out with us in this particular situation.
That's what I'm trying to do, guys, is just be super transparent because there's a lot of strategies, and I think most of them have a potential edge, but none of them are going to work long term if we don't stick to them, number one. And on top of which, I think the thing that is really catching my eye is your strategy don't matter when you're on tilt, okay? Your edge, your 80%, your whatever. When you get dumb, none of that stuff, none of those stats, come into play that day. That day is stat free, my friend. Like, so if that's the case, I got to be smarter where I can afford to be smarter. So this is a strategy right here. Scott talked about it. It's an SMC, Casper, whatever. That's your fair value gap right outside of that 5-minute range. This candle closes. You're entering right here. You're doing a candle that broke out. That's your stop loss, and you're going for a 2 to 1. So this is the whole strategy. But that is a 74-point stop. So it's $150 risk on 1 micro, and it might play out. I'm not in it, so I'm still flat. We might just waterfall down and go nowhere. On the day, this is the trade I posted in the group. The one that's don't know why that says that, but that I just flipped the account for take profit trader to be on the day, and I'm still just nowhere. I didn't take any other trades. That one was worth it. Of course, that's the one I should have been mirroring to every account, but I wasn't. It's part of real life. We are getting a little bit of a pullback. That's a little baby flag. It's just not optimal. So if you want your SIP, we had some people talking about that this week. You kind of tap back into that imbalance, take your SIP, but it's a 50-point drop to the 300s.
Yeah, I was the same thing with you. Is that this is exactly what I was wanting for, what I was looking for all week, which I've been repeatedly my stop loss has repeatedly been stopped out prior to, and I didn't know where I could actually I didn't have a good place to put a stop loss when I wanted to get into sell. Once it already happened, like London, I should have been in it on London, but I don't trade that time, so.
That because if I'm not available for London, that doesn't help me at all. I'm always sleeping. Oh, okay. So Magic, we're at your 350 level. Again, why were you looking at this level? I want to see what you see if I can, if my eyes can see it.
So this is this level is the mean of the new week opening gap that we came from when the bullish move happened. So this is the midpoint of that opening gap range that we came out of on Monday. And then we're back into it now. So I think since everything else is telling me is for a buy, I think this midpoint would be a good entry point with a tight stop. And if not, I would wait until it comes back down to all the way back down to the bottom of the new week opening up, which also has a gap within that range I'm seeing here. So I'm in the trade.
Okay, you're following your rules. Okay, so win, lose, or draw, you're following your rules, and that is
Yeah.
the best thing you can do.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how it plays out.
We got 35s already. We're gonna come tag that target, and I'm not even along for the ride. That's lame.
I'm up 3R on S&P right now.
I can't with you, Scott. Good job. Oh, did you use your kind of JGS or fair value gap method, or what would you
More
do?
JGS-ish. It would have worked as a fair value gap trade, but I would have gotten it at a much worse price. Oh boy, there's a big buyer coming in. Just
Nope.
slapped up.
30-point pop up. Yeah, that was feisty. Yeah, see again, we come back to the whole like what methodology we're using to enter. We're selling. I could have just got in right here. I mean, that wick right there is a little bit elusive, so even at there.
Yeah, that would have definitely been the JGS 1 minute
Yep.
entry.
That's it, and you're done. But today would have been clear. We already know Tuesday it was very unclear doing that. We get chopped up. So sadly, guys, it looks like we're about to hit the two whatevers.
See if that buyer comes back in. Not yet.
Oh no, we're just going, and I'm not in it. I'm still flat. So post all of your Maseratis because I'm not in it. How late? What is that? 540s?
Approaching the average daily low now.
I didn't even have that up. Hold
Yeah.
on.
That's actually perfect. The target that it hit, if you guys take a look at the daily candle and where it's at now, that was a nice gap to fill.
5 minute. Let's go to 15-minute. We're trying to get the average. It's going to take a minute to load. Did I have like a pending order on or something? Oh, I must have had a pending order on my AMP account. I hope I can talk properly. Whoops.
So you did have one?
Oh, I did. Yeah. It's a $200 loss. It's just one micro, but I was like, wait a minute, that account, that's too large to account for fees. That's not like one of those synchronicity thing, or the synchronicity thing that they do where they're just syncing the accounts up. But then that's the benefit of ATM because I'm guessing it activated and ATM probably placed the stop and that's where it got out.
Yep.
So that's perfect. I mean, it sucks, but it's my human mistake.
And boom, I'm out at 5R.
Good job.
Great, Scott. No, I'm just joking. This was perfect, guys. If you guys made money, definitely go post that. I'm proud of you. Good job for you. I was more precautious and scared money don't make money. We already know that.
Don't worry, I'm as salty as you are.
Okay, good. Good. We'll be salty together because I wanted a slightly better price and I don't mind waiting until 10 to get it. I don't mind waiting for a retracement. But now that we've filled this, we're coming into this gap. And this is the 50% from that big move up. This area is 50% of that. and it's also the gap. So height indicators, it's both. And that's where we're tapping into right now. She's going golden. Two. Boom. Now, if I was trade minis, I could just grab any of these 10 points real quick. But micros, in order for the trade to matter, really, I really want to catch like the bigger picture play, and that just wasn't it.
I'm glad my algo got me out. It's at the very bottom of the wick.
That's phenomenal. Was that
It's now
ATM?
breaking up. Hmm?
That's ATM set at 5-1.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Mm. Okay, well, there were lots of little 1-minute flags, little 1-minute retests, but not, we didn't even come near the moving average. You got a little thing here, a little thing here. We're getting a little bit of a bounce now. You do have a little bit going on. That
Once,
first 15-minute candle set now. Go ahead, Robert.
once again, Robert's considering not doing pre-market.
Pre-market chopped you up again?
Yeah, I was here's the difference between the 2 days. Yesterday and today is about the same. Yesterday before 9:30 hit, I was down almost $300. When 9:30 hit, I hit my profit target for the day. So what does that tell you? It's it's almost not worth the risk at this point to do pre-market because it's just just use logic, I guess.
Well, plus you have the, so again, I like what did we talk about yesterday? That 8 a.m. I like the 8 a.m. I like the 12:30, the 2:30, the 2. I
Oh,
like
dude,
time.
that 12 o'clock one did it again.
Yeah, beautiful. But like you said, it's not worth the risk. And that's kind of what I've been thinking is I just want to have 2 opportunities in the day to
Yeah,
go get my daily profit target. Not every day will be green, and I have to accept that. But 2 opportunities, because when I add more, yes, sometimes 8 a.m. is phenomenal, but 8:30 sometimes has news. Yes,
yep,
sometimes 12 is phenomenal, but 12 also sometimes, if not looking at the last 3 weeks, but looking at the last 3 years, it also consolidates a lot at that period, right?
yep,
Yes, Asian session has a good move at 8 or 9, cool. But if you look at the last 3 years, not just the Trump administration and tariff and gold, it also flops around and does nothing at 8 p.m. a lot of the time, like percentage wise. So for me, I've got my 2 sessions. It'll, win, lose, or draw. And to answer your question again, I was trying to get to some of the messages. Yes, I've got another past prop with just automation.
Oh yeah, I
No,
forgot about that question. The one where you use the one contract. I was wondering if you finally
just
passed it
one
because you were
contract. But
close to it.
it took 4.5 weeks. So it took literally, I
That's
passed
not
the
bad,
day
really,
before. It's a
because you're
lot.
being super safe.
Yeah. Robert, lucky. Remember, I'm just going to show everybody this. I did change it. Sorry. I wanted to keep it like super modest and like be the modest and, coach or whatever, but I couldn't. So 3, 5, and 10 accounts. Um, just look, that's on a monthly level. Again, 20K a month is what most people's, dream income would be. $300 a day. That's a lot. That's very doable. And that's not even including every day. That's including red days. So just popping that up there real quick.
As far as my live trading, I'm out for the day, but like I said, my demo's still on. Um, I've got my periods are 9:30 to 11 and 12 to 2 now.
Okay.
So we'll see how that works out on the demo, but I may just bypass the pre-market stuff because I mean it's just not worth the trouble. It just is, Sure you may make some here and there, but like the past 2 days in a row, I've started out red before 9:30 and 9:30's actually uh, cleared me out. So why bother dealing with the red part?
And like anything else, on Tuesday, 9:30 was a chop fest. There was no way manual breakout or automated breakout was going to perform well. It just, if you had like a super tight trail, maybe it would have been okay. But even then, it was so rough. So just know that sometimes, yeah, that that morning session will be red. It sucks, but hopefully you make it up or get closer to break even on the PM session. And if not, then cool, you have another trading day. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
All right,
Of
I'm
course,
being
now,
patient.
now
We can do
government's back open and news will start coming out, so that may change again. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
very true, very true.
And there's no trading style that works in all markets.
Yeah. When I look at stuff, guys, I try to look at not the last few months, and now, especially with Trump being, our president, for good, bad, or ugly, it doesn't matter. I try now to extend the data that I'm looking for like a 3 to 5 year period, just to get a better vision, okay, a better, clearer look at what I'm trying to see. Because remember, I don't care what kind of money I can make today if I'm going to lose it tomorrow. There's 1,000 things that we can make 100% today. And hence the reason why the Dragonfly chat will it'll light up with a bajillion people hanging out and questions. And then once that person gets a little comfortable, you hear from them once every 2 weeks or once a month. Because that was what I wanted to create, was something that just made some money. And for the most part, I don't have to think or worry or stress or anything. Not to say the market's not crazy sometimes, but that is literally the entire process. Is I wanted something that could survive the bigger picture, because I don't care. I can make, $1 million this month, but if I give it back on day 2 of next month, I have made effectively no dollars. No dollars is mine. So
and before I forget, the one account that was close to being funded, instead of using a 300 take profit, I did use 400 on it. I know I'm horrible for doing that, but it did hit 400 because it was like it needed 800 to be funded, so I just basically cut it in half almost. So now another 381 that one's funded, and I've got 7 more that are at 800 or less from being funded.
okay, nice. All right, guys, it is 8 minutes until the new hourly candle opens and the 4-hour candle. Okay. We just broke from low to low, not from high to low. So from low to low, that's your 61%. High to low, we got a little bit more room. Okay.
Yet S&P is approaching the 50% as well.
Okay. So now we got to decide if Magic's bias is right? And haha, I'm just calling you out. I know none of us can ever know, but I wouldn't mind taking a short-term scalp up. We've got our breakout. This is 1 minute. We kind of want a bit of a retest to kind of confirm that. We are currently respecting that 61% low to low. Okay. High to low, we got some room. But we need to get above this level. We need to prove that that is accurate. And either way, this wick we formed on this 1-hour candle is that's our 1-hour candle, wicked right into that perfectly. 4-hour candle. My concern with entering before 10 a.m. is we might get that next candle opens and wicks down before coming up. Or the counter is true, which means we're just going to pop up real fast, get those 540s, okay, maybe even 500s, and then come down. So I feel like any play we take is going to be, it's going to be interesting. We're close to the middle of the 15-minute range right now. I don't know why it's not drawing on here. That's, what is it, 390s-ish is the middle of that 15-minute range, with right now we are respecting. 15-minute range is looking very clear. It doesn't look indecisive at all. It looks deadly clear. Here's where we're sitting. Nice bearish engulfing candle. That's the 430s to kind of come up. 4 minutes left on this candle. We do have a nice little retest and bear flag coming up. Because even to the 430s, that's 50 points. So, and that's our bit of a retest. So that's it's no matter what trade we take, it's gonna be a little bit risky. We've missed the biggest move on the day, at least for now. We should not be looking for longs, but if we are, this is what we're looking for. We got our retest. That's down to the 430s, and then we set all the way to the 540s. Maybe come all the way up to that VWAP. But we need to see if we're going to respect this 15-minute range or not, what this next candle does. So I'm still flat, being patient. 380s. That is a huge stop loss. We are fair and square above that 50%. Move that out of the way of our current view. 3 minutes left, and then we've got 10 o'clock. So let's see. I might even just to fill that imbalance inside the 15-minute range, because that puts us at the 460s, which from here, that's a 50, 60 points. Three minutes, and that's a strong wick. Hopefully we get one more little retracement. Otherwise, that was a lot of points. The 70s that's 50 points. God almighty. 70s. Yeah, that's 50-point pump. Two minutes left on this hourly candle. I am being patient. I'm being mindful. 1 minute. We still haven't had like that 8 and 20 cross just yet. Let's go down here. I'm guessing we have some bullish. We're at the 385s. We've already filled that 340s.
Well, I just picked up another half an hour.
Okay, you bought up. Look at that.
I was selling down. I picked it up at a 50% retracement, caught a bounce, but it was starting to pull back up
Nice.
because it's been reacting to the 10 moving average and bouncing. Yep, and it's coming up and challenging what would have been my entry. I could have had higher conviction, but I've already got a good win. Don't want to give it back.
That's smart. As we all kind of work through our mental aspects. Robert Rhodes done for the day. 751 on my funded buffer so far. Good job. How many micros are you trading? So for $300 on 3 contracts, it's 200 ticks.
Still trading 3.
Nice.
If I put this in chat yesterday, I think I got this sort of kind of figured out. At the moment, at this level, I cannot have one single trade go more than 750 in the red. And then after that, your what you call a buffer on a buffer, they called it something else, safety net.
Yeah.
2 times the safety net. Well, once it gets above 2600, then it's based off your balance, and it's a bunch of stuff.
Well,
And then I noticed even when you do withdrawals, you can only withdraw a maximum of like so much anyway. So
and I think that's what kind of got me a little bit lower is all of my funding ticks accounts are 50K, but I was also trading some 25K accounts with take profit and funded next, and it kind of just made me learn a little bit differently. So that was kind of cool. Obviously that gives me not as much playroom at all, like not at all, but it also means, especially if something like take profit trader, I don't need much, and then I can withdraw 5 or 10K. But I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying not to withdraw 5K today because it's just not a healthy long-term mindset that I think is just taking it a little slower, more days, less dollars.
I think my plan, I'm gonna do, instead of like 2,000 or 2,500 times two, I'm just gonna do 6,000, make it 3,000 times two, and anything above that, I will withdraw.
There you go.
That's the plan anyway.
Okay.
It may
And
take a while, but it'll
it
get
will.
there.
It will definitely take some time. Guys, we've got a little bit of buying pressure, but we've got some wicks to the upside. We're also respecting the 61%. So we like that a lot, potentially looking for that sell. Can we finish this move to the downside? Give it all the way up into there and come to that level as a 1.5R trade. And that's giving it room. So of course we can get a 5R trade, but not giving it room. It's a lot harder to do giving it room and getting the 5R. That is not a bad trade. You're with the trend. I said I don't want to sell until we get a bit more of a retracement, that was a great story to tell myself an hour ago before we just dropped 200 points. So now that conviction on, hey, I want to get back up to 540s or this bigger percentage move of a retracement is kind of gone because we've already come into 50% of that low to high. We've retested that beautifully. We haven't really filled that gap though. So I definitely think there's some potential more sell side pressure, but it's just a matter of where's the best place to get short with the most conviction.
Yeah,
This
but a nice
helps.
bounce off the 61.8, which is, a lot of traders look at that.
Yeah. That's already 50 points. That was a 50-point drop just from there to there. And now we're rolling over.
And ES is making a nice move off the 1 minute 50. I didn't get in.
I think we're going to get down there below 300s.
Well, I did, but I cut it short. I'd probably be up 2.5R right now. I'd stayed in.
Let's see what we can't get. I'm in this. Can't unbe in this. I'm only in 2 micros. I have to minimize that. Mostly because the size of the range is very large. We haven't got a better price to come in. I didn't enter there, which is 50 points away, as we know. So
That 4 hour, it looked like it essentially is sort of forming or has already formed in a sense a head and shoulders. So if it stays bearish, then there's definitely great opportunity to the downside.
you guys see this 4 hour, let me go the 1 hour. The 1 hour potential head and shoulders. I mean, it's a wide shoulder, don't get me wrong, but left, right, left head, right.
Yeah, that's
We'd have to come down into here, and that was another argument for my potential sell this morning, was to come down into here and kind of form this head and shoulders before we tried to buy.
I don't know that it needs to come down that low.
How low you think it needs to come down?
I think about where it is sufficient.
I know that these markets aren't quote unquote correlated, but sort of what's heated my sort of bearish sentiment as well is that I don't think NQ has gone into a longer term downtrend like Bitcoin has, and it's been trending down for quite a while, small pullbacks, and then still going back on a downtrend. So that's sort of the price action. I'm wondering if we may see something like that, and with the tech stocks as well, and all of that for NQ, but time will tell. Because for it to go up and make new all-time highs and all of that, I don't know if there has to be some sort of catalyst. I'm not seeing that. I would think of it to come down a lot more further and then, make its move for new all-time highs.
You think it's got to come down further?
Ultimately, whether it happens this week or not, I don't know. But that would be my bias that I would be leaning towards. But we're getting towards the times of market. Government reopened up, the holidays, that sort of thing. But as far as bullish for it to make new highs, it doesn't have to take a long time. We could literally have November of bearishness, and then it reach the all-time highs, towards the end of November, or leading into December, for it to start the momentum ultimately going there. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not Nostradamus, but that's just sort of my thoughts.
No, I like.
Yeah, if only you were, Jonathan.
Right.
We would all be Buffets in here, that's for sure.
Well, of course, Nostradamus, it may be strictly winner's bias on the ones that he was right on, and he may have made a whole bunch of really bad predictions, and we just never, history lost them.
It's history lost them.
Yeah, well, everybody forgot about the bad ones and only remembered the good ones.
Right.
But that and the
So
ones that in theory came true, you really don't know that they came true until after it happened. So it's kind of hard to place any bets on anything you said before it happened.
I don't like how it's coming up all the way into here. We've got 4 seconds left on this candle.
what was the name of the big short guy? Michael Burry, is that right?
Yeah, but how many other predictions did he?
Well, he's known really for one. And I'm wondering what his overall track record is on big bets.
Let's see, we've got 35 seconds left on this minute candle. Don't love this nice momentum bearish candle. I'm down probably 15 to 30 bucks because I closed out of some, but I closed out of that trailing stop I had, which was foolish and greedy. I would have been locked out at 20, 40 points on all that whole move. And now I'm probably going to be red by a couple bucks on this. I don't want it to it's moving. We're going to take that high. That's a lot of pressure to the upside. 1 second left. Let's see if we can't get any bit of a pull down, get a slightly better exit. Just slightly. Not giving it to us. Nope. Shorts are definitely getting squeezed. 40 seconds. Down 70. Because again, it was only 2 micros. And one of them technically closed in positive, but I closed out of the other protecting stop, which I knew I probably should have kept. And that's it. Not going to pull down for me. Nothing. How rude. All right, I'm out. Sitting at, that's the pre-market low that we're tapping into now. So just so we know where we're sitting on the day, it adds up.
Something else I noticed, Jenny, and this is probably,
That's where I'm sitting on the day, guys. So I don't know why that one didn't trade, but I'll look.
how can I say, it's probably obvious, but it's better if you set your day, if you use a daily take profit, and you use a trade away, it's best to set it there because I've tested it on affordable indicators too. There's definitely a lag between the two.
Oh, there is. And I love that it's there. I like my backup on my backup, but honestly, the trade of 8 one is going to be as close to
Oh,
humanly
dude.
possible.
When it's on trade of 8, as soon as the very millisecond it hits 300 or more, they're all done. On the affordable indicators, it will like do one and then prices moving around, then it do a few more, then move around a little bit more, then finally did all of them. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go back to setting it on the other end.
I'm looking to long this.
Yeah, I've had a long signal a couple candles ago.
This should have been my long. I'm going to look to average in to get a bit of a pullback. 540 still the target before I really look for that bigger sell to come down and fill that gap if and when. Big size. If worst case, just to kind of come up to that 500s is 60, 70 points. 500s being a whole number. Also the VWAP. Point of control is sitting below us right now. So that's a pro and a minus because we can tap back down into that. which is what I was looking to do.
Yeah, we've been below the VWAP for about 6 hours. It's due to tag. And I have my moving average scanner running right now on the 10 and the 20. And everything was red when the market started. Now everything is green except for the Russell.
Okay.
So like the whole market is shifting.
Um, we're still, let's be patient. YM is pushing up a little bit more aggressively. NQ is still trying to look like it's got some sell side. ES pushing. YM. NQ. You see that feisty move on gold? It was like, what is it, 900? I don't know. It was a lot of points pips to the upside. It was huge. Huge, huge. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of a move to the upside here. We're still keeping below this pre-market low though. So we're trying. Baby steps. We got the pops. We're trying, but I'm not closing these out this time. I'm gonna let it actually get me out. Just hold. Back in the green, not very much. But again, I'm not doing a lot of size. A couple of the accounts are or should be minis. I guess funding ticks doesn't let you trade the account if there's pending withdrawals. So there's like 4 accounts that you can't trade, which is interesting, but okay. Let's see if we can't get all the way up into here. I'm gonna go off. Five 18s. Actually, I'm gonna do that as one contract. We said 540s. And as we take this high, I want to be out at the 500s. Let's see. Underbid that contract a little bit. So we have took off half of the position there, re-entered, and now we're waiting. Green. We got 30 points away. I could still add to this if I wanted to. I'm not going to. Play it safe. I'm gonna move that first target down closer to that VWAP. Because we're likely to get a bounce. And trailing, a lot of these accounts have trailing drawdown, so can't be risking too much because it's not $100 risk, it's a $200 risk. It's not 150, it's 300. And until you're past the buffer, it doesn't increase. So until you're past the buffer, and if you take a withdrawal, it doesn't increase. It's a little bit tricky, taking it slow. If you wanted to get started with the auto orb, where do you suggest we get started? Totally new to funded challenges. Hey, first off, I'm excited for you. Secondly, brace yourself. It's a learning curve, right? I wish I could lie and say otherwise, but it's simply not the case. Third, obviously you're a member, so go to the auto orb chat. We have a chat that was really meant for was meant for reporting, right? It was meant for, hey, here's your complaints, and the complaints is the wrong word, but constructive criticism and feedback, because we didn't know how everyone else was receiving the data that we were sending. So there's a chat. I know we have a playlist, but we can tag at 6FTC as well in Discord to double check that. So there's a whole playlist that'll have you start at 1, but there's a video that says, here's how you set it up. There's a pinned post there with like a document in there that will let you set it up, tell you step by step. If you're not getting alerts, you probably did something really tiny wrong. Go back to the beginning and do it again. And I know it's irritating. You're like, well, I can't get it. And a lot of people get very frustrated very quickly. But if you're not getting them, it's because you set something up wrong. Period. And I'm sorry, but that is the case. You got to go back to the beginning and step by step figure out which part was wrong. And that's it. You just have to know one of those profit targets. That's not bad. It's 60 points. From there, set it up. Please do one account. Robert did a lot of trial and error. Okay. I did too. I do think it functions best on minis, but those accounts are more expensive. Well, here's the reason it functions best on minis is A, the fees are a little bit smaller. B, you're going to hit that target so much more easily, so much more quicker, but you also need a larger account worth of drawdown. So, there's always a double-edged sword. Start with one micro contract. You're probably going to blow accounts. I'm so sorry to lie to you. I don't want to be that person, but I'm telling the truth. But you're probably going to blow accounts as you're learning, or something is going to happen that you didn't know. But once you get it, and you have your trade of 8 like daily target set up. Ooh, I don't want to give all that back. You'll be surprised. It's not going to hit your daily goal every day. It's not. I wish it would, but it's not. Sundays are just going to have been a chop fest versus both sessions. I would suggest at first we were doing, 3 to 5 sessions, and there's a lot of money to be made, a lot. But I also think you're taking on the entirety of the market unnecessarily. The low and slow approach is much more peaceful, because at some point we have to stop striving for profit and start striving for peace, right? So pick 1 to 2 sessions. I'm doing New York Open, obviously, and then a New York PM session, mostly because I can be available at those times and get an idea, and I could, troubleshoot and do all the things. But pick 2 sessions, set it to 1 micro contract for a while, set a personal daily target on Trade of 8, not on just the indicator or whatever copying platform you're using, but also on Trade of 8, particularly on Trade of 8. And I personally don't currently have a daily loss limit set on those, I'm being honest, mostly because, like we talked about yesterday on that call, I think it limits you from being able to make certain decisions, like to make it up. So like if I hit my, like, let's say Tuesday was a chop fest, I would have hit my daily loss limit in the morning and not been able to make up for it in the afternoon. Whereas on that day, I hit losses all morning. I think I was down like 400, $500, which is a lot for how much I'm trading on that account. But by the afternoon, I was break even plus. So I think I closed the day with a net positive of like 40 to $50 after fees. Apex is cheap, but honestly, go to my link tree. Please use Funding Ticks. Funding Ticks does have consistency rules to pass, but I think the accounts are cheap, and I think you only get 5, but honestly, we don't need more than 5. Funding Ticks is easy. I think Take Profit Trader is easy. Apex is cheap, but remember they still have the activation fee. Funded Next is one of my favorites. And those are all Trade of 8 platforms. So this is coming all the way back down. I should have just got out. Depending on how this candle close, I might add in just to kind of get my trailing drawdown back. Well, I'm not. So this move cost me $120 of my trailing drawdown. Doesn't seem like much, right? But that's what it costs to let a trade go in your favor and then against you. So that's stupid. Stupid head. All right, I'm out. I'm out. Came up to yesterday's low. That was the level we chose. Made almost a full 100% completion on that move to the downside. So now, hold on, I'll talk more about it in a second, answer some more questions. So let's do this. So now this is where we're sitting. Oh, what am I doing? We're above the VWAP now. If I can't draw this better, here we go. See if we can't look for one more entry to the upside. Low to high. Just to kind of come back up to that 540s area. Doesn't mean we're gonna get it because we just got denied off the this is 23. Hold on. One thing at a time. This is where I'm, so those are all the, come on, baby. We took an entry here, got out of some, closed in some in a loss, took an entry, added into that, got out of most of it, took this at kind of less than break even. And then on the day, here's where we're sitting. Remember, we were down almost 2K on the day. Now we're sitting here on the day. So not bad, not great. Those are hitting targets, which is fantastic. Not
Where
looking
the bounce that was right where the breakout happened, so it just tapped that zone. So I'm curious to see if if the Bears will come back or if the Bulls are gonna try and pull up further.
I think the Bears still have to come tap this kind of, it doesn't have to, but I'm still thinking the Bears are going to hit 250s. Doesn't have to be today. And they may as well hit this before they try to make the bigger move up.
Mm.
Let's see. Thank you, Robert, for all those links. Is there one company better than another? I think payouts with Take Profit Trader are super easy, but I think the fact that you can unlimitedly make money today and withdraw today is also a plus and minus because it makes you kind of get a little stupid. Like it makes me get stupid, maybe fair. And I'm trying not to get stupid anymore. Apex is the big goal, but that's me. Funded next is reasonably easy, especially because once you're funded, you don't have to get past the buffer. Like you have to have a couple of days and that's it. And then you can withdraw $500, $500 or $1,000, $1,500, $3,000. Then you can withdraw the whole amount within 30 days versus 8, what is it, 6 payouts or whatever with Apex. So I like funded next a lot. I like Take Profit a lot for the purpose of withdrawal. I like funding ticks a lot. Their customer service kind of sucks. And people get irritated when you talk about companies whose customer service sucks. They do. Chat sucks. The website's a little glitchy. Their linking to Chartivate's a little glitchy. But their payout process is easy and their accounts are a good price and their rules are good. Their platform is good. Their dashboard, I should say, is good. So for that reason, I like them a lot. Yeah. Just looking for peace. If we can get profits and can't keep our peace, we've effectively made nothing. If we can't keep our peace, we've made no dollars. I'm excited for you. Just plan. And I tell people this with Dragonfly, honestly. I wish, I know I should be a better salesperson or whatever, but I wish people could understand, hey, here's a vehicle that can potentially change your life in the next 3 to 6 months. Please take it seriously. Please plan on some upfront failure. You're going to. I wish I was fibbing, but I'm not. There's going to be things that you didn't know you didn't know, and you're going to make some mistakes. And then the system's going to make mistakes, and the market's going to be crazy. But if you stick with it, and once you get the hang of it, you have something that automatically trades, let's just say 3 funded accounts. I'm going to pull this back up again. 3 funded accounts averaging $300, okay? Even if you're not successful, assuming you have 80% of the days you kind of closed out in green or even 60%, this is per month, okay? That is not bad. That's not bad at all. That's just 3 accounts making $300 a day. And remember, you're not going to stay making $300 a day because as you build the buffer, you're going to be targeting a little bit closer to 5. You're going to be targeting a little bit closer to this as you build more. But I'm trying to stay practical and small. That's insane, guys. That's a lot to make 15K a month hands-free with, I don't know, let's say the automation is 300-400. Let's say a couple linking services are 50 to 100 if you're using any of those. Let's say the prop firms are a couple hundred, right? So for the cost of about $500, you're making 15,000, 9,000, 3,000. So even if you're only making 3,000, hands-free, your cost is 500. That's what the wealthy people do is they're willing to invest 2,000 knowing it's going to flop to 4 And they just keep doing that, and then they're doing 5,000 to do to 10, and they're doing 6,000 to make 12 or to make 8, and they keep doing it. You're pretty much printing money at that point. So yeah, it's a whole thing. But I'm a geek. I'm a geek.
Hey,
Go
Jeannie,
ahead.
quick FYI on the Dragonfly Gold. I haven't mentioned this in a while. Remember, I even went with even more conservative settings starting October 30th. And so far for November, it's still up 6.44%, even with even more conservative settings.
I'm surprised it's surviving with just how gold's been moving. Like again, I don't care if it's my algorithm or anybody else's. This is a monstrous move. Okay. This is hard if you're on the wrong side of that. That's a 2%, a 1.5% candle. Okay. That has
And
had
it
no
it
yield.
is down for this week at the moment,
Yeah.
like 1.6%, like based off of Monday, but it'll catch back up.
Yeah. It just in a market like this that's exuberantly irrational, it's completely crazy. It's hard, but the market won't always be like this. The market won't always be like that with crypto either. I think I missed my sales, guys. I'm up 2 grand on the day, which is fine, but it's not great. Block that one so I can't manipulate it. Let me change it on accident. 2 minute time frame. Here's where we're sitting. We're still by all accounts bearish. If we can kind of roll over past this, I would be selling down into here. If we continue to reject and this kind of is a retest into the moving average, I'd be looking to come buy up. Again, still targeting that 530s, 540s area to give us the more concrete potential sell down or to buy back up. So not a lot on the day. I do want to point this out just as we both learn together and we work on things together. Watch this. The benefit of having those daily targets hit. Now, again, I don't want to limit my risk on every account because that's stupid. But let's take a look. This account closed at 140 because the daily target is set at 150. This account closed at 200 with this, all the trades we took, right? Because it tapped that high, right? Whereas these are all at 60. Remember, this is the one that I took that one sell from. I just took it on an individual account. And if I had that $60 trade on just to flop the account. But see the difference? If I was just targeting, let's say 150 or $200, I take my trades on the day and then it knocks me out of those accounts and I'm out. It's fine. I come back again tomorrow. These other ones have higher targets, so they didn't get knocked out, and the moves I took weren't optimal enough to knock me out. But just think about it. If you have a couple of accounts that you have set to 200 or 300 or 150, just trying to, grow it slow, the sky's the limit because you can technically keep trading your 2, 3, 4, 5 entries and then be done with whatever you need, knowing that these accounts are now safe or they've hit their, whatever they need for their consistency rules, and then you go on with your day. So kind of a cool way to be. Actually, why? I don't think any of my, oh, they did. Very, very cool. In about 6 minutes. Auto orb just got another 190. Yeah, some days are cleaner. Some days are smooth. This is one of them. Nice sell to the downside, but I am not in. This would have been a great entry to get in. Right in here. That's 19s. That's 40 points right there. Easy peasy. We're respecting this bullish imbalance right now. We might be rolling over.
Yeah, and the auto order is working really good and it's still in beta. Can you imagine when it's done?
I should have the final version. Again, I told you guys I'm not going to add all the other trailing stops just because they're not, I don't think they're optimal for this process. But that one's done, and we've already also automated inside out. Because we built it slow, but we built it in a way that we can kind of plug in a lot of things and create some really awesome things with it. So I've got inside out also made if you want some diversity. Also will be in beta here shortly. which is like you saw Inside Out, Robert. It's something you have to catch right now, or just not at all.
Yeah.
So automating
And,
it means you're
and
just
like I tell everybody else, you definitely have to have your caffeine in your system ready in your blood for the day when that one
well,
works.
not necessarily. You could technically do it like on a bigger
Well,
time.
you can do it and then like walk away for a few minutes and then come back and do some more, but you know, it can get intense.
Yes. I'm still flat on the day, guy. Well, not flat. I'm flat right now, not on the day. Haven't made much on the day, but counts as a day. Actually,
Oh,
no, some of those they need like $150, I think, or $200.
I forgot that. Is the Inside Out still manual traded?
No, we've automated it.
Oh, so you won't have to like keep your eyes glued to the screen as much. Okay.
Yep. We've automated it, so kind of exciting.
Dang, I can't wait to test that one out.
Just slow and steady. I think the goal with that one, because there's so many setups in a day, would be what I wanted to teach when I was going to release it was go get one trade a day, 1 to 3. That's it. There she goes. 1 to 3 trades a day and then be done. That's hard for most people because there's going to be so many opportunities. And of course, the one that they took was going to lose, and the one that they didn't was going to, it's going to be that whole mental mess versus I'm going to be super patient, look at structures and levels and all the big picture. And I'm going to do my best to go get 1 to 3 trades and then walk away for the session. So I think when we release it, I think the biggest topic is going to be have it set real slow and low is something like, go get your $200 a day and not every day will be green. And then be done trading or have it kind of scheduled to trade you during London or something when you're not trading. And then there's a lot of thoughts that I have going into that, but I'll talk more about it when we're ready. It looks like we want to come tab the rest of that. So here we are on ES. We are still respecting this bullish, but we got a lot of bearish momentum. We have 30 minutes left on this hourly candle, and we are very dojied up. We are sitting right there. I still think a sizable target is going to be that 250 area. I think that's phenomenal. So that's another 110 points away. Will we hit it? I don't know. This candle has not made a new low yet. To make a new low, we have to hit 270s, which is still 100 points away. 100 points. That's 220s all the way. I think we're here. We have to hit it. No, there's no guarantees, but I think we're here. We got to hit it. Into the 2-minute time frame. $25,000. 80s. Looking to kind of sell this down into that area. All the way down, potential 220s, 250s, more reasonable target. I took 3 contracts. I'm going to take one off very, very quickly. Well, it's already taken itself off. Awesome. I'm going to do my best not to manipulate that management because I want it to, I want to get what I get. I'm going to lock these because I can't afford it to come all the way back up against me. That's already 40 points. I might try to have one runner just take us the whole way, but I'm going to be, I have this set in a way that in theory, that third one should trail very loosely, but it doesn't always work that way, especially when you have a jumpy market that jumps 50 points, So if it's jumping 50 points, it doesn't always work the way that you want it to work. So I really want this last to hold one contract down even to the 220s, but I likely will not get all the way down to the 220s. Oh, come on, just go. Go if you're gonna go. Come on. Don't wake up for me. I need to protect that trailing drawdown, so I really want to get at least one of those contracts out, kind of where that was, if I can. If I can't, I can't. There's nothing I can do about it. But I want to protect that trailing drawdown to the best of my human ability. Oh, just tank for me. Come on. Nope. Gonna come not. Come on. Got to protect a little bit because the kind of trailing I'm in for most of the funded accounts right now, building up a buffer. So got to trade a little bit different for a little while. It's a lot of points. Love that wick. I did like it until it popped back up. I loved it a lot. Tighten that up a little bit just because it's not worth giving it all back. If it's going to push up again, this is a 2-minute chart with 30 seconds left. I think we at least tag one of these in theory. Hopefully. And now the other one should trail. Was a little protective there, but again, my objective was to maintain my drawdown. So for that purpose, I did the dang thing.
And it really wants to fill that gap, but it just doesn't want to go there.
Yeah, just being careful. So from down 2,000 to up 7,000, depending on obviously where this trade closes. It's popping between 6 and 7. Let's see if we can't get down there. I want to baby the account, so I'm not going to be as aggressive trying to go for that 70, 80 points just because I need to baby the account, guys. But we'll see. My PA accounts are all good and gentle. Those are knocking me out like at 300-400 a day. This way, it's consistent. And I don't have to worry about anything. All of their rules. The rules. Auto orb was fantastic this morning. But she's popping back up now. So come on, just go. Roll over. 78. That's a lot of points, even just to this low right here. It's a lot of points. Might not get it, and I'm not going to risk it all either because I want my trailing drawdown more than I want the profit.
You might have to wait till the PM.
Yep. Not bad. I mean, a little late on some of this was definitely late entry. Should not have entered here as late, but I do like that I waited for the break and the retest. So, I mean, I'll take that. I could have got a better entry on that, especially on the 1 minute. I'm still in. I'm trying to give it room, but it's not looking good. Okay, so let's talk about it. I was patient and waited. Got some of this, didn't manage it well. So I had both my trailing stops technically activated, but I deleted one to catch the rest. Should not have deleted that one because that cost me a full loss on that contract, right? Second one, again, I was patient. I waited for that candle to close. And that's what I wanted to do is I don't want to just take it when it's open. So caught that pretty well. And then this one could have got in here, but still wanted to see it respect that imbalance that we had. Didn't really wait for a retest, but I waited for this bigger kind of trend line area to break. I do think we hit the 250s, potentially even 220s before we turn around. And then maybe 540s is the target, but we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. It's gonna knock me out. Again, a case just to take out the profit that I could have taken. But I'm locked and my job is to let it play out. But you're also trading a little differently when you're working with trailing drawdown. And since so many of these are PA accounts or pro accounts, and then only 2 of them are pro plus accounts, I don't have that end of day, whatever. So I have end of day on a few of the firms, which is just you can trade it differently. But since I'm mirroring, I need to accommodate the trails, not the end of days. And that's what I'm doing. If this was minis, it'd be bajillion dollars. I'm gonna tighten that up again, protecting that trailing, and we'll see. We're still all technically inside the 15-minute range. We haven't even left that yet. 18 minutes left on this hourly candle, and that looks really, really good to come. And maybe if not in this candle, next candle to come wick down into this area. And then that's going to be our question mark to see if we're going to pop back up or we're going to roll over and fill any of these minor imbalances or take a low. Keep tightening this up. I just don't want to give any of that back that I don't have to now at this point. We're coming up on the last 15-minute candle of the hour. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go. And if not, I'm gonna have been happy with my $6,000-7,000 and be done. Be done, son.
I just noticed too, since 9:30, prices bounced between my 2 areas of interest I have drawn up.
That's
It's
kind of
like
beautiful,
it's
huh?
like it dropped below 1 and then it dipped, then it hit 1 and then it kind of stalled and then went back up, hit the top one again, kind of stalled and came back down, hit the bottom one again, and now it's stalled again. It's kind of weird.
Those areas of interest, I think, are super magnetic. It's no different than the people who are like super fascinated with trend lines. Like once you see it, it's hard to unsee it. I think trend lines have a value. I don't think that they're everything, but I think I like the areas of interest obviously better. But either way, let's say you love trend lines. Once you kind of see on the bigger time frame, wait, this respects it, and you kind of stay in this range, or you get the bounces, and when you get the breaks, this is how you handle it. I think it's very, very powerful because then it gives you confluence, even like not necessarily as a standalone situation. And trend lines are no different than like areas of interest or support and resistance. It obviously has more value on a bigger time frame than the smaller time frames. Like the areas of interest and the levels you draw from the 1 hour are going to be way more significant than the ones you find on the 1 and 5 minutes, for example. That's just, it goes with the without saying, I think.
Well, it's made a believer out of me watching it as it happens, you know.
Nice. So Robert, you use the affordable indicators. I will say, if you take another trade after the goal is hit, the difference with having it set on Trade-Evate versus affordable trading tools is so for example, I took another trade, the accounts that should be flat because they hit a goal are still trading right now. So it kind of, it disengages that little check mark once you hit it. And now it doesn't matter. You can't even re-engage it unless you change the goal. You'd have to remove it. So it will continue to trade. That's another benefit to using the one on Trade-Evate. Because those should be flat, but they're not.
I haven't tried. I'm not going to try it, but I haven't even thought about that. You know, because once it reaches your goal, those check marks go away.
Yep.
And it doesn't. It's weird. Yeah. Because you would think if it was going to do it, it would not only just remove the check marks, but remove everything in your followers list at the same time. You know, unhighlight them or whatever it does, but it doesn't do that. It leaves them up.
We're at 270s. We're at oh, come on, just let me tag it. I don't want to get greedy. I was really tempted to hit the X. I almost hit the X, you guys. I didn't, but I almost did it. I'm not gonna hit the X. I forbid myself from hitting the X just to capture the rest of it. I'll take what I get and the rest I'll be happy.
It looks like right here, we have the same areas drawn up. It's just you have one big one, I have three little ones.
Well,
It's the only difference.
this is an imbalance. This is a gap is what that purple one is. And then this gray one is actually the 50% of that huge move up.
Okay, I was just looking at the gray part. Your gray part like covers three of my areas of interest.
Okay, now I'm flat. Actually, surprisingly, I'm not flat. 2 accounts are holding. I need to flatten all. 3 accounts are holding. That's not good. But I flattened all. So that's, hold on, 340s down to almost, 260s. It's a 100-point move. Not a bad way to be at all. Just to kind of give us an idea of where that's sitting. And I have to link some of the accounts to Trade-Avate, no, not Trade-Avate, but whatever you call it, TradeZella, to kind of update that better. So
I
that's
put in a
what
feature request for TradeZella, the page where you go to where it lists all your accounts, you can refresh them or whatever. I put in a feature request where we can sort those columns. You can't sort those columns, and I think that's annoying.
Oh my gosh, yeah, me too.
Because I want to be able to just click and sort it to where like all your apex are there, then they're in numerical order, then your take profits in numerical order, but you can't do that right now.
The other thing I'm having a problem, she's still going, she's hitting the 240s, but I'm content with that because I didn't want to have any mistakes in terms of what I'm trying to accomplish. So anyways, so I will say the last thing I'm having problems with on affordable indicators is, that little box that lets you, the new check mark box that he just released that lets you get it out with total account actions, like if you've hit your daily goal. So not the daily goal, but like the account, hey, funded or payout level goal. Dang, I'm not even in that. I can't get that check mark to appear. It appears sometimes, just it won't appear all the time. It's really weird. Like, so it was here earlier, but it's not there right now. It's
I
really,
don't know which one you're referring to.
it's a whole nother level of check marks.
I know, let's see, that one's been there. I know the from funded one's always has been there, so it's not that one. Which, by the way, does work really well. I had that one checked last week when that funded one hit. As soon as it hit it, it closed the trade. I mean, within like a millisecond.
Now I want my bounce if I was still trading. Why can't I move this? It's not locked.
Yeah, so that's exactly what it did. It went when it pulled up on that buy, it exactly tapped where it broke out from, and then it went straight down, straight shot from there, and then filled the gap.
Well, we did the dang thing. This would have been a great sell entry. There was 100% completion of that leg down. It was a great sell entry. Obviously, I wasn't in that. I was buying at the time, but I was out. So 3 great trades. This one I could have managed better because I deleted that my little protection. Technically, this was 73s down to 20. That's 50 points. But I got out of one. I deleted the other, trail. So I ended up taking a loss, which I would not have had to if I had made better decisions. And overall, great trades. Now you can look for your buys. Now you can. But we'll see, because we still got some more imbalances to the downside. So beautiful. I think I might have just figured out, turn the lock off. Oh, lock on, lock off. Interesting. Turn it on. Sorry. Wax on, wax off. Okay, we did the dang thing. Could have got a little bit more on that, but again, my goal was to protect my capital first before profits, and I did that. So up 9K on the day. The surprising part is the ones that were trading minis should have been up a lot more, and for some reason they're really not. So either the contract switched or something went wrong there, because there's no way I should be up $300 on 2 or 3 micros and also $300 on a mini. That doesn't make any sense. at all, but I don't know. Don't know. Maybe it's just the way it all played out. Maybe it's the math that they were mathing. So I don't know. But she's still going. There's the 220s. Boom. Oh, yes, ma'am. Hold on. Messages. Miss Barbara, I owe you a phone call. I'm sorry I missed you yesterday.
Okay, yeah, I'll call you a little bit later. I have the doctor's appointment today, so I'll call you a little bit later.
Okay, definitely. I pray that all is well. Just a checkup. Sorry to be nosy, but
Yeah, I'm good. I
okay.
injured my hand, and so I have to go back for some follow-up stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm
Okay.
praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Speaking of that, guys, Miss Charlotte is in recovery. She's here most days driving to the Munchkins and the grandkids and going to see her daughter. So say a prayer for her, send her some love, reach out to her. Because for a lot of us, this is our community. These are our people. And I know sometimes
Absolutely.
odd to have that bond with somebody, some of which you've never met in real life, but these are your people. So show her some love if you're able or willing. It's just the little things that we can do to make a difference. And yeah, that's it. Okay, guys, we did the dang thing. Anybody got questions, comments, things they want to go over for Dragonfly, for automation, for strategy? We had 2 questions actually. I think I'm gonna make a short little video on, and I owe the developer videos and Rika video. I owe a lot of videos. I'm not in love with this, guys, by the way, but that's okay. Anything at all that I can help you guys with or spend a little bit of time with you. We're patient to analyze performance, which is something I've been doing jokingly with the boys when they come home, but I'll do with you also. To analyze my performance, I of course could have taken the better entry. I knew I wanted to sell in the day. We take out breakout strategy. We take out the fact that we knew New York Open has momentum. I could have taken this trade and been done. That was a phenomenal trade, but I didn't. And I have no regrets there because I was looking for maybe a wick and then a pump up before we got to sell. So I'm okay with not having added risk that I didn't need to. There was an opportunity for a re-entry, but again, it had already moved so far. At this point, it's 300-400 points down, hard to chase. Either way, potential buy here. I was patient, didn't just pop into the first reversal that presented itself. Kind of stayed with the trend here. My worst part of my performance today, I think, was Xing out of my trailing stop, because that was the only loss I took on the day, which was an unnecessary one. Not only was it twice as big, or maybe probably 1.5 times as big as the contract that I closed, but also it was unnecessary because I was fair and square, digitally locked and strategy locked. So that was a dumb decision. This right here, I kind of flopped beautifully as we broke above these highs. We had our break and our retest. That's JGS, just kind of trade back into the VWAP into yesterday's closing price. We got that. It was well managed. That's 408. So it's an 80-point move. This right here, I think performance could have used some work for multiple reasons. Number one, I could have been looking for a sell at the 100% completion of that move to the downside. That's number one. And that's straight out of the gates. That's 100%, pretty darn close. But you had no confirmation yet, so you're kind of gambling. Yes, you're using levels, but you're gambling. Hi, honey. So I didn't take that. Either way, I could have waited till this first JGS 1-minute entry here, which would have been, what is that? 423 is down to the 50 points better. Not bad. But I didn't. So we had a break. We even had a nice little retest / flag formation. I could have entered here or here. I was more cautious. I kind of waited for us to get below this little very time-frame trend line. Why are you moaning at me? Why are you moaning at me? You better stop it. I'll take you outside in a second, little man. That's why I don't leave my door open, because he'll come in here and he'll nudge my arm up like, here, hold me. Just hold me tight. And then he will moan. That's what he does. I think he's a girl. But anyways, so took a good entry here. I gave that stop plenty of room. I could have given it less. Beautiful kind of trade down. We got out somewhere near the 60s. I wanted the 50s, but I'm okay with that. Again, my goal was to preserve my trailing drawdown on some of these accounts. I just want to optimize it to the best of my ability. They hear you. I don't even hear you. Don't growl at me. He does not know who he's talking to, you guys. So, but that's our performance on the day. I would ask if y'all have questions, but he wants my attention. He says, look at me right now, because I am not kidding. But we've got 4 minutes left on this hourly candle. No wick to the downside just yet, so be careful. We've got
His name's Oliver, right?
Yeah, Oliver.
Oliver, yeah, behave is what I was wanting to say.
Yeah, good luck. He's strong dog. He's muscular. He's got all the muscles. But okay, that's all I got. We will be back live again next week. As always, post in the chat. If you guys are making a trade, if you're having a thought, if you're cooking your dinner, let's build this community to something that is incredible. We should have an update for automation next week. And that's all I've got. So happy weekend. Go do something fun and off the charts and healthy. I love you all. Take care and God bless. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
Bye all.
Jenny.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You guys are welcome. Sending you guys all the love. Mwah.